My name is Rebecca. I'm from Orange, California, and I represent the brand Rebecca Bolland. But it's really been kind of a part of my family for as long as I can remember. I was fortunate enough to know my great-grandmother while she was alive, and she did a lot of sewing. She grew up during the 1930s, so that's kind of a time when they had to be resourceful with their materials, and they needed to be a little bit more conservative with what they had, so she learned how to sew. And then my grandmother, she doesn't really do a whole lot of traditional clothing sewing. However, she really loves doing embroidery, cross-stitch, kind of the traditional textile arts. And then my mom, when she was around my age, she actually went to school for fashion. And then it just sort of trickled down to me, I guess. I grew up around all three of them sewing, and it just always fascinated me seeing the needle and the machine go really fast, just seeing how just easy they made it. So that's kind of really, it's really been in my DNA for as long as I can remember. And that's kind of when I decided when I was in college, I would just go for it. I would go into fashion because it's something I've always loved and I've always been comfortable with. I want people to feel joy and to feel unapologetically feminine, especially nowadays. Like, you know, there's a lot of politics, especially nowadays, surrounding gender and expectations for women. And right now, I love being a woman, actually, you know, regardless of everything that's been happening to, you know, people like me throughout the world. But I'm still extremely proud to be a woman, and I wouldn't have it any other way. And that's really the message that I want to bring across. I just want to bring across joy and light and just a little bit of levity from maybe the everyday mundane activity. My collection was actually kind of inspired by mainly Isadora Duncan. She was a ballet dancer at the turn of the 20th century, and she completely turned the art of ballet on its head. Like, she danced barefoot, she danced in very sheer chiffons, when at the time it was very stiff and corseted, and you had the tutus sticking straight out. She completely turned it on its head. And I really love that kind of message where she took something that, you know, was very traditional and everything, and kind of turned it on its head and made it her own. And that was something that was really inspiring to me. And it kind of led towards, you know, me thinking about the Great Gatsby in the 1920s and how I just love that era. And, you know, hopefully whenever we get out of this pandemic, I kind of hope that that roaring 20s comes back. So that's kind of another reason why I designed this collection. It's the collection you're gonna wear for when you want to go out and have fun with your friends. Again, it just kind of settled in there. So I just wanted something really ethereal and light and just something fun that would just make you smile.